Mrs. Johnson, good to see you again. This is Mike. You can trust him. He looks just like you. Plus, 2 against 1 is more intimidating when we force someone to sign a loan.
And I'll be sucking up to you in order to keep up the illusion.
So, here are your low monthly payments and interest rate as we promised. Here's where they triple. The rest of this stuff, don't think a lawyer can read this. It protects us. Make sure we get your home when you can't pay us back.
Such a lovely house.
It is. But don't worry. We're going to sell you credit life insurance. You don't really need it, but
Puts lots of cash in our pockets.
you look nervous. We better hurry and get you to sign. Or I'll pretend to ruin your credit with one phone call.
Predatory lenders are never this easy to spot. Call us and protect yourself with the facts.
Every day, online predators make their way into homes uninvited and unnoticed. Help delete online predators. To learn what you can do to protect your kids' online life, visit cybertipline.com.
And we're back, and again, we thank you for staying tuned. And we're talking to Reverend Darrell Smith, and he has an announcement. I'll come back and tell you some more information when we're talking about the state of the crime in the city, but not just here, not just local crime. Period. So
right.
You know.
And that's another fact that could be said. You know, not misinformation. Crime happens everywhere. But I want to share with the viewers that the Plymouth Rock Missionary Baptist Church, every third Saturday, they will be having a clothing giveaway and food giveaway, free food. And that happens every third Saturday beginning at 12 noon. So I'm mentioning this earlier, so if they would like to make a donation and drop off some things, I have some suits that I've outgrown, so to speak, and I'm making donations of those clothing items. Yeah. Still got the cleanest ticket tag on it, so you know it's clean and everything.
It's already clean.
It's already clean. But
so that would be a guise that if somebody want to donate the clothes and stuff, make sure they're clean clothes.
Right. We appreciate that. But let me just give you the address of the church, the Plymouth Rock Missionary Baptist Church, pastored by Reverend Rainey Daniels. Is 233 Hillary, 233 Hillary Street. That's like around the river bend, and so you're welcome to just drop it off. You can look up the church's number and find out what's a good time to drop it off. But of course, you can come down on Sundays. I do have another announcement to make.
You have another announcement?
Well, today I'll be preaching at Plymouth Rock Missionary Baptist Church.
What time you will be preaching?
I'll be preaching at 11 a.m.
11 a.m.
11 a.m. 233 Hillary Street.
So everybody go in and hear Reverend D.K. preach and make sure you bring your supplies that you want to give away.
Yeah. So that'd be a
so that's the only other donations y'all need, just clothes?
If they want to bring some food, they can probably do that. Because
y'all prepare the food yourself.
Yeah, they prepare the food. So if they want to bring monetary donations, whatever. I'm pretty sure that they could use that. The main thing is, Jesus said, "The poor you will have with you always." So there are people that will be hungry, and even still, there needs to be clothes. Let's be real. Now, I want to get back to what I was saying earlier about
crime,
about the crime and everything. The fact that some children and adults don't really realize what's real and what's fictional. And the sad part about it, well, like I said again, when that child or that body or that person is laying down on the ground, they're dead. Distinction, I just said. Somebody missed that. I'm a person right now. The moment breath leaves out my body, I become a body.
Right.
Funeral homes will say, "Where's the body?"
Right.
They don't say, "Where's the person?"
Right.
Where's the body? Everything is considered to be the body after the person's died.
Right.
And to be considered a body means it's just like that. There's no life. There's nothing to it and everything. And so while we have living, breathing people living right now to hear this, take time to really love the children, take care of the children, parents, you know what you know. You know what you have to do. You know, they may get on your nerve, but they got nerve. Look, they got nerves. That's the thing. You know, again, to make them feel good.
Just train those children.
Train the children.
Take time and nurture them children.
Well, see, now, when you bring that up, that brings up something else. And I just say this in a 1 minute time frame. I'm reading a good book by Apostle Willie, local pastor.
I know.
And he wrote a book about Black America and crisis and everything. And I saw the book before I saw it at a book sale, so I picked it up. And he basically was telling how this book was written in 2005. So he was saying how back when the March on Washington was making 40 years instead of 50 years we just made, the fact that, you know, everything is generational and everything. He said, if we don't work with the kids now, we lose a generation.
Skip a whole generation.
And that was back in 2005. And the sad part about it is, it still goes, if we don't reach the youth now, we're going to lose a generation. Look at 8 years ago with Katrina. Those kids who are 15 and 16, they were 7 and 5, whatever like that, 6 and, you know, whatever like that, 8 years ago. So it's like, these kids saw what was happening in the Superdome. They saw the tragedy. They probably saw bodies floating in the water and everything. They saw that. They grew up fast to the point where now 17, 16, 18-year-olds are committing crime and everything. And 8 years ago, they were 10, 11, or whatever like that.
It can be a process of acting out the frustration of what Katrina had built in. A lot of people don't know that there's a lot of frustration in individuals and not being able to change some of the situations that they are confronted with. Post-traumatic stress disorder is one of the symptoms. You just don't have to go to war to have post-traumatic stress disorder. You can be in a traumatic experience, and a traumatic experience is an experience just like Katrina. Other things that happen, traumatic. One of your neighbors gets shot. That's traumatic. Not only young kids, their peers are getting killed, so that's traumatic to them, and so it can bring on a lot of angst in their life. They think maybe I'm next, so before I submit to that, I may do something to counter that. So look, right now the community needs a lot of counseling, a lot of consoling, a lot of prayers. That's what we need right now. And then I believe we have the answer to the problem of crime, and that's what we've been neglecting, is return back into the Lord, return back to God, and find out His strategies, find out His principles and precepts, and we applaud those pastors that went out for the visuals. For the best thing to do is to go out in that community and reach out to the community and pray for that community. And so that's what's necessary. We need to pray and work out that frustration that's going on in our communities on a constant basis. We can't just do it one week, 1 month, and then think everything gets solved, because the crime, the crime goes down a little bit in different neighborhoods. It has to be consistent. We have to be consistent. Let me get this out.
I was going to say, because speaking of post-tragedy, you had a tragedy.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that because on Thursday of last week, our ministry building caught fire, and so we're asking for the prayers of everybody. Pray for us as we get ready to resurrect, restore, and rebuild in that area, because we did a great service in that area and ministering to the youths in the area as well as the adults. We did feeding, we did clothing, we did a whole lot of outreach in that area, and we want to go back to that area and outreach, because there's a great need in that area for outreach for not only adults but especially for the youths, because we believe if we can not only engage the youths at a young age, we can deter some of the crime that's taking place. We're going to be doing, and I have some people, they're going to be speakers. I don't want to mention their names right now, but we're going to get together and we're going to develop almost like mentoring programs and reach out to these young men and these young women and let them know that they are valuable, they have a great self-worth, and that we want to redirect their energy energies into a positive level, into a negative level, because we understand when people don't think that they're worth anything, they're liable to do anything to act out to get attention, and they may not be getting the attention at home, and so sometimes they're just doing things just to be noticed, and sometimes it may be a traumatic thing that they do to get noticed, and it can be the detriment of their life, because they can be incarcerated for the rest of their life. Ultimately, they can be killed.
Now, you just brought that up, and I don't want to speculate, and not going with speculation, but do you think that even with the fire at the warehouse, that was some kind of cry for help or anything like that? Because I said, without speculating, the cause of the fire was
it hasn't been determined yet,
okay,
but it seems suspect, and I believe God is going to reveal what happened and how it happened, and we know it caught fire, and going to reveal the other things that caused that problem. So we're just trusting and depending on God to not only get that information out, but if anybody did that, then God will reveal who did that as well.
And our thoughts and prayers go with you on that, because tell us about the fact where that ministry began.
It began, believe it or not, out of the plethora of what was happening back in the early 90s. And so a host of preachers and lay people got together, and we got together to form Delinquency Alternative Program Ministry, which we just used the acronym D.A.P, D.A.P Ministry. And we were concerned about the youth, because this is not the first time that youth have been in risk, and so it's an outreach for youths at risk, and so that's what it developed out of. And before we knew it, it really spurged to a place where it involved not only youth but adults as well, because we had to deal with both the youths and adults, the parents of the youths. I can go on and on, but I tell you, remind me on next week we can talk a little bit more about it, and we'll talk about the programs that we have ministered to and how successful they've been. Again, we thank God for you, the viewers that watch the show. We ask that you keep on praying and keep on calling in, give us those email information. Again, we thank our co-host, the Reverend Darrell Smith, for the outstanding job he does in the community as well. But I always say to our viewers, go to a church of your choice and worship the Lord. You're always invited to come on out to True Love Missionary Baptist Church, 2710 Phillip Street. Worship time is at 8 a.m. in the morning. And just happen, you still have time to come on out because our worship time is at 8 a.m. Our youths are on the stand. They're part of the worship. They're going to be worshiping not only in the scriptures, but also they're going to be worshiping in song and praise. Until next time, we just ask God's choicest blessings. God keep you, and that's our prayer.